Hello everybody, some of you may remember the series that I had on my channel which was called Team Fortress, where you either had to make stuff like look very good together like match it, or you had to look like somebody from a movie or somewhere else, like a famous person, or just so that people who saw it could be like, oh yeah, I know where this is from. Now I've been thinking a lot. Like I did do the your TF2 thing, which this is the last thing that I showed in the video when I did the episode there, and since then we haven't really actually had much here. This were kind of supposed to be the, I guess you can call it a spiritual successor to Themed Fortress, where instead of just only submitting team loadouts and go to the Discord and submit it in Team Fortress, you go to the your TF2 section and just submit pretty much anything from TF2 that you'd want to, be shown on YouTube, on my channel where I'm like reacting to it. That would be where you'd submit that. But that seemed to not really have gone too well, and therefore I'm thinking, you know what, maybe it's time to perhaps revive Team Fortress, but maybe in a different way. So what I'm thinking here is that I'm gonna look over everything that I've been submitted while the series have been locked down, and just take a good look at it, a bit like I did with the TF2 thing when I introduced that. And you know what, if this gets enough likes, if it gets enough views, then we can bring it back. And I'd also like to see suggestions on, if I bring it back, how would I do it. Like if you are fine doing it with that, you don't need to come, like as I do here, you don't need to comment anything. But if you feel like I should do it like I did before, or if I should do it some other way, then that's fine too. But I feel like, considering especially that there aren't potentially that many submissions, I can just literally look at all of them and then just zoom in and then give them a score of 1 to 10. And if I know exactly where it's from, I'll try and direct it as good as I can. Otherwise I'll just be like, it seems to match, or I don't know where this is from. So let's get started here. So the first one we have here, which obviously matches very well with colors, like the white, just that's a good match there. Sadly no connection to the skins, but I gotta say, the unusual effect with the skin pattern, that's some good stuff right there. We've got this. I mean, this just looks amazing. This is like obviously a 9 or 10, and it have that kind of, I guess, samurai like feel to it for sure. Well, this is definitely a 10, and if I were to give this, probably 8 or 9. Not using the old system, just this is my personal words, like how good is it looking. This one, you know what, this is actually a 10. I don't know why, it have something going for it. This just looks so good. Not sure why, but this looks very good. Also have a good, like, it just feels like, the pipe, the beer, and then I don't know, the beard, it has some good feeling, like it has some stuff good going for it at least, so I'll say that much. Got this, not really my style. I'm probably gonna give it a 5 because I don't know, I'm just not a fan of pink. I think the pink looks out here. Maybe if it were green, I don't know. And if this was Holy Grail, and it was paint green, then I'd probably give this a solid 10. We've got this one here. Gonna give it a 8 or a 9, I think. And it actually looks pretty okay. It does look pretty okay. Bit more like veteran style, I'd say. I don't know, like, feel like Bruce's bandana does not fit in at all. If you were gonna do this, just run the war pick in my opinion, and then add in a nice, leg cosmetic, maybe some pants. So I'm gonna give this a 4, I think. I feel like the mask looks out of place. Not sure why. Maybe the head and the mask doesn't go together, in my opinion, is what I'm trying to say here. So I'm not gonna give that any points. I mean, it'll probably be like 4, but I don't feel like giving. Okay, I think everybody knows what this is. This got my video demonetized already, I think. So that's pretty nice there. We've got this, and I'm just gonna say that's a furry loadout, isn't it? That's what that's supposed to be. And we've got this, which is like an abomination of some sort. Does not fit together at all. This is one of those that I usually wouldn't take. I mean, this actually had a chance to make it because it's obviously like pink themed and completely furry themed, and probably a solid. I don't like pink, so 7. If I like pink, this would be 9, I guess, maybe 10. But since I do not, you know, even though it have a good theme going, if you like that theme, I guess. What do we have here? I don't know. It feels like a sort of mask would do this loadout more justice. I don't really like the bot killer on it. 3 maybe 4. I don't know. We've got this, which is that guy from Billy and Mandy's Grim Adventure, like the guy with the eye patch on. That's at least the guy that comes to my mind. It might be somebody else, but that's the guy that I'm seeing this as, and seems pretty accurate to me at least. That's one that I'll for sure say like this is a 10. This is just spot on. Actually, this is an 11. It's breaking the scale because it's from somewhere else and they match it perfectly in my opinion, at least by how I can remember it. So it's probably a 10. Like I can't give higher than 10 here, so it's a 10. This one got some very good matching going on and definitely a 10. Like honestly, the proof of purchase, painting these the same paint and then matching with the bomber sole completely. Here's another variation of it by looks, but still like that's just a 10. I think it's because here we have, yeah, I mean, this is using a mask instead. This is a 10. This is 8 basically. I don't know why. I just don't like that as much. Not sure what this abomination is supposed to be. Not gonna rate it actually. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this loadout. Maybe if it had been the non-loot, but then we have like many of the same set. I don't know. Don't really feel like rating that either. This one, you know what? Looks like maybe somebody's uncle or something on a holiday. No, actually, he's not even on a holiday. He just always wears like he's on a holiday, and then some sort of scientist maybe. That would be how it is. And he's actually on work, but he's wearing his holiday shirt. Obviously, makes sense. Giving that a 8 or 9. We have this. Not sure. I'm gonna like. I don't really see anything that goes very smoothly together. I mean, it looks good, but the unusual effects looks out of place. So I don't know. Maybe a 5. Golden Pan obviously overrated. Don't really see anything else going for this loadout. Like this is an all-class hat that doesn't really. I don't know. It feels like a bit bare on the body cosmetics in general. Like I mean, sure we have this, but I feel like maybe skip the hat and then have a body cosmetic. I don't know. This is probably a 9, maybe an 8. If a better unusual effect than 10, but just like I mean this is one of the obvious ones, but it's still like it looks nice together. That's the point. I'm gonna give this a 5. I don't really see what that's gonna be. This is a 10. Like this just looks like not Indiana Jones per se, but like somebody that's out exploring, and it looks very good. It looks very good. I have a mental picture that matches up with this from somewhere, but I don't know. That's why I'm giving it a 10 because it matches up so well. This one, 4 maybe 4. I don't really like it for some reason. Another overrated golden. It's actually the same guy. I can see that because the unusual effect. I believe this is the same guy at least. Again, Golden Pan obviously overrated, and people are probably gonna be like, "Oh, where's your Golden Pan?" Well, I decided to spend all my money that I had at the time. Actually, I promised myself never to buy a Golden Pan because, trust me, else I'd have one. But I mean, if I ever have the keys randomly, I'm probably gonna trade to it just because I can. I'm a collector, and then I'm gonna keep it, of course. But other than that, I decided, hey, you know what? It's way more cool to actually have basically unusual melee weapons for 8 out of the 9 classes because heavy still doesn't allow it. I mean, if I ever got a golden pen, I'd probably use it on sniper exclusively, maybe. I don't know. That's the only place I feel like it would fit in. Speaking of sniper. Not really sure what I'm gonna give this loadout. Maybe a 4 as well. Think it's, again, recognize that unusual hat. It just doesn't look like I think this would look better without the unusual hat, is what I'm trying to say. Maybe it would be a 5 or 6 then. Looks like some sort of special unit. Actually goes. I mean, the banana kinda. If he had the Fist of Steel, so the Iron Curtain out, would probably be like a 8 or a 9. But otherwise, it's a 6. The banana kind of ruins the immersion. Not sure what this is supposed to be. It looks like some sort of pop star, somebody that makes music, and I don't know. If it's supposed to be like a pop star, then 10 out of 10. Not really. I'm giving it a 9, but whatever. Unusual effect kinda not so good here, but let's ignore it. Then it's a perfect 10, because this just looks very, kind of same time era, so it's pretty good like that. This just looks very. It looks like some sort of Hell Warrior, or something along those lines. I'm giving it a 9 or a 10 for sure. We've got this. Actually, surprisingly, looks very good, and I'm gonna be honest here. I'm totally biased for smoking, so this is a 10. I mean, 11. Okay, it's a 9. Let's be honest, it's a 9, but looks pretty good. Non-biased 9, biased 11. I don't know. This somehow reminds me of Build some way, but like a pink version. Again, not the fondest of pink. I don't know. It's like if you want to impress me with colors, go for the black colors. It's like if this was colored black, I'd give it like a solid 10 out of 10. Biased, of course. Otherwise 9. And now I'm giving it an 8. So you can see how that like pink. If you just have like a whole theme thing with pink where you have pink unusual effects, yes, you can probably get a 10 or a 9, but I don't know, it just looks out of place on most loadouts, that's what I'm trying to say. Assume this is the same submitter. I mean, this has been over a long time period, so it's okay. Usually the rule is that, by the way, you should read the pinned rules if you are planning to submit there, like a lot of stuff there. But I guess it doesn't really matter at this point anyway, so. But yeah, I mean, actually this looks pretty okay. I think I'm giving it a 7 or an 8, all things considered. This, again, it have that thing where like the pink doesn't fit in with everything else, but let's ignore the unusual effects here. This is a 10, I say, like probably a 10, maybe a 9. Looks pretty good like that. We've got it's supposed to look more like a rabbit pyro or something, robot rabbit, I don't know. Again, the pink ruins it. Maybe if the hat was painted pink as well, maybe this doesn't load out the TF, so I want to see like some pink unusual effects. Not rating this because it's lacking that stuff when it easily could have had. This very winter themed, probably like the unusual effect really drives it home, so a 9, I guess. Giving this a 8, 9 probably. This is getting a 10. Like this is like, we had a pink version that looked a bit like this before. I didn't really like this. This, however, looks, and then at the front we have like, it looks like Snake Eyes here. This 10. This is so good looking. This is so good. Another furry loadout, I guess. You know what? This time we're skipping it. I remember this on my stream. Somebody were talking about like how I needed to see a heavy loadout, and then they posted it in here. So I mean, obviously gotta give it a 10 just because of that. But honest opinion, probably 8 or 7. The hat doesn't really fit in. That's also what I said on stream. But this, I don't know. 7 looks pretty okay actually. This looks very glitched out, so I'm not sure I'll actually rate that. And I believe that's the final one. Anyways, if you guys want to submit your own stuff, probably pointed towards that. Just read the pins. I think there's also one on your TF2 here. And you can submit stuff. And I might even combine it. So I'm like looking into both if I, there isn't enough content. So feel free to just submit stuff. And then I'll, show it on YouTube like this. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll see you again next time.